Alright then. Doesn't look like there are any other side quests to do. On to Drake's Breath. The Boiling Sea. All is very calm.
Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes. I'm fine.
No, you're not.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
All right.
Jill also starting to turn to stone.
There she is. The Iron Kingdom's mother crystal.
Drake's Breath. Strong currents, sharp rocks, and ether floods. Let's not forget them. This island is a natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency, allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
All right. Let's go.
Through the back door. Fire and ice. A
I
song
always imagined
of...
when I came here it would be to reclaim it.
It used to belong to Rosaria, didn't it?
Once, though it's been in the Ironblood's clutches for far too long.
As was I. For 13 years, this rock was my home. I know its secrets only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut.
Another ether flood. Ew. Akashik thorn.
The ether flood must have spread. It was never as bad as this before. And the
Come
only
on,
way
Matt.
past them is through them.
Oh. Maybe a bit overkill. Where are you? Uh-huh. Open sesame.
Was that an earthquake?
They happen all the time. That wasn't even a bad one. It's nothing to worry about.
I'm sure it's fine. Onward. Big boy. Hi guys. Can we party? Oh. Dead. Goddamn motherfucking wolves. Oh. I'm getting fucked up. Ow. I dodged into it? Come on down. God damn it, man.
Enter the caves from there.
Right. Ooh, a chest. The breath of wind. Aerial blast. Don't think I... do not believe I have that. 779. Is it this one? Oh, this one? This one, yeah. But what can I get from here? Blind Justice, Lightning Rod, the Storm, Hell Drive, Judgment Bolt, Ignition, Limit Break. What other wicks? Actually, yeah, use your Blind Justice. This is a nest? It's looking like a boss area.
Look at this place. What a mess.
Wait.
Oh joy.
It's turned.
Nothing a shelter for Zaria can't handle. Just like old times.
Worse breath.
Believe me, I mean to. Foul.
Don't breathe it in. Too slow. To me, boy.
Ow. Uh-oh. Acid rain, eh? Uh-oh. Oh! Gotcha.
I still can't believe they can jump. These things have roots. I'm hurt.
Fudge. Ooh. Should have bought some potions before I left. Okay. This is definitely doable. Ow. Coach. Motherfucker. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Akashik Mobile slain. Nice.
Press on.
Yes. It's like a furnace in here.
We're inside the volcano. You get used to the heat, though I don't remember it being like this hot.
Was that one cause for concern?
It was. And they're getting bigger. Something's wrong.
Scarlets. Scorpion. Hello, what's up here? More scorpions. Hey. None of that, thank you. Okay, chest. Something over there. Ow. Lift you up. Were you guarding something? I think this is just a different way we came. Alright. There was a shiny over here. Nice. Refreshing.
Fuck. Is there no other way across?
Doesn't look like it. Guess I have to do... No. Nothing with these. Alright. Some ice magic.
Quickly, before it melts!
This is going to be close. Come on!
Let's not do that again.
No. Let's not.
Two.
That's not alone. But in numbers like these.
Nice try.
Ow. Ow. Did I miss something?
Well, we aren't going this way.
Okay.
Let's look for another path.
Alternative route.
Drake's breath.
We're nearly at the oratory.
What the hell is that?
Red moose.
Absolutely no idea.
Ow.
Whatever it is, I don't think it's friendly. Nice try.
Pyraga.
Nice try.
Did it too early.
Too slow.
Whew. Ooh, locks. Mithril wristlets, you say? Wow. I'll take those. Oh, shit.
One of the demons. But they never leave the lava.
If I didn't know better, I think this volcano was about to erupt.
Why attack us then? They're peaceful creatures.
Then this one must be the exception.
Doesn't look particularly peaceful.
Well done.
Ow. Hey. Come here. Bloody thing. Ah, I dodged right into that. Okay. Wow.
What's it doing?
Nothing good, I'll wager.
Oh. damn it. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Hooray! There we go. Motherfucker. Gnarled scale. Okay. Goodbye.
Are you hurt?
Just hot. Thank you.
Quite a commotion our friend made. Let's hope the guards didn't hear it.
The gate to the inner chambers is just up there. Then we make for the sanctuary. I need to finish this. Before the heat finishes me.
Hear, hear.
Onwards.
We'll enter the Comric by the Handmaiden's living quarters. It was always a hive of activity.
Sounds like we'll have a hard time staying out of sight.
We won't have to. There's someone there I should very much like to see.
Knock knock. Who's there? Sneaky sneaky.
Lady Marley. It's me.
By the mother. Jill, it can't be.
It is, my lady.
We cannot talk here. Come with me.
Don't mind us, guys. We're just passing through.
I'm so glad you're safe.
And I you.
Why ever would you risk coming back? Are you a fool, girl? Or have you grown tired of your freedom already?
Forgive me, my lady. But I had to come back. There are things I left undone. Tell me, where is the Patriarch?
I'm here to murder him.
At this hour, he'll be in the Comric, giving thanks.
You mean... Oh, that fiend! Clive,
What's
we
he
have
doing?
to get to the sanctuary. Now. Lady Marley, you must flee this place, gather your things, and go.
Now listen here, Jill.
We have company.
This way. Follow this passage. It leads straight to the Comric. Go on, stop dawdling.
Thank you. You were always so kind to me. My light in the darkness. Take care, my lady, please. You deserve better than this. A long and happy life, promise me.
I'll live if you promise to do the same.
Well, okay.
Come on, Clive. We're nearly at the Comrec.
All right.
Hey!
Welcoming party.
I've had enough of their hospitality.
Get over here. Thumbs up. Into level up. Okay. We gotta go that way, but what is down here? Anything? Nothing? Oh. Nope.
How many of them are there?
Too many.
Okay. Ow. Jesus. All right. Tally-ho. I guess we go down here. Oh, more of you guys. Oh, wow. That cleared the room. Uh-huh. Nice. Nice, nice. 1200, Gil.
Clive, there's something I need you to know.
Okay.
I saw the Patriarch do things no one should have to see. And so I swore that he would die by my hand.
I understand. I faced my demons, and you must face yours.
What did he do? Looks like we're getting close.
We're nearly there. Just one last push.
Wow. Oh, really? Burn, baby, burn. In a box. The Grace of the Inferno. Nice. Speaking of which, what does Will of the Wisps do again? Summon a storm of fireballs that circle around, damaging nearby targets while absorbing damage. And you... This lightning rod. Create a ball of lightning that upon being struck, chains lightning to other nearby enemies. Give it a go. Onwards! Bastards sacrificing people.
Shiva's dominant. Come to beg forgiveness for your failure.
For years I followed your orders, fought your wars, all to protect the children you took, just as you took me. And what did you do in return? You put them in chains and you slit their throats!
Fiend.
Their souls were sullied with a stain of ether. I merely cleansed them of their corruption. A penance paid, just as the Holy Mother wills it! Repent, abomination! For a monster like you to set foot in the Holy Cymric is in itself a crime deserving of death.
You're right. I am a monster, and my soul is stained black. Though not by ether, but by the evil of men like you, who made me close my heart and drown in darkness when I should have raged against it. This is my penance. I will be your monster no more, nor will I suffer you to create another.
Does the beast bare its teeth at its master? Come then, dominant. Rage, be as you have ever been. A monster!
And what are you, Imran? I was forced to kill. You do it by choice. But never again. I bowed to you once. Now it is you who shall bow to me!
Kill them.
Now!
Right.
Okay. Ooh. Yes, pun intended.
Jill! Freed. Come on. Remember how it felt?
All the shit flying around him. Poor Torgal over there.
Why? Why can't I do it?
Performance issues, Clive. Really?
Please. Just once.
Let's go.
Hold back forever. We better make this quick. Too slow. I'm hurt.
Oh, really? What is this? Ow. Did a double.
Nice try. Too slow.
Hey!
Nice try. To me, boy. That's better. Too slow.
Swelter.
Damn it.
Now would be a good time, E3.
All right. I won't take long.
Said that before.
Too slow. Nice try.
Oh, fuck. Jeez. Jesus Christ.
Nice try. Too slow. Nice try. Too slow.
Jesus. Come here, you. Oof. Got there in the end. Liquid flame.
Jill!
I'm going to finish this, Clive. Here. Use this.
Ice blade. And another one bites the dust. Wow.
Are you watching, Sid? You're one step closer to freedom.
The crystal. What did you do to it?
It's gone, man. It's gone.
Oh. We destroyed it.
What? But... Monster! Monster! Do you have any idea what you have done?
I do, Father. I have killed the monster and become an outlaw. May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
It's over.
Julie's quite the badass.
It is.
And Shiva exacted her price.
She did.
Again, the burden fell to you.
And I bore it willingly. This was a sin for which I had to atone. Now I can continue at your side with my head held high. Clive, look.
It's just like the one at Phoenix Gate. Damn it. We need to leave.
Agreed.
Joshua, not Joshua?
I kept my promise, and now you keep yours.
Meanwhile, in some other place. Ah.
This way, Your Grace.
You're bleeding. I have a tonic which will...
I thank you for your kindness, truly. But I assure you, I will survive. Please, save your medicines for those who need them most.
Oh, well, if you're sure.
Is that the girl from before who was trying to sell tonics and lotions? No one wants them. She can't even give them away.
For a moment there, I felt my brother's presence.
You did?
I fear he is in Ultima's thoughts again. But why now, after 5 years of silence? I cannot keep him sealed away much longer.
Your Grace.
No, do not dirty your hands. Look at them all. Like a river flowing to the sea.
Or moths to a flame, perhaps. The crystalline dominion their light in the darkness. More and more lose their homes to the blight and set out in search of sanctuary, while others lose their fortunes to the Dhalmekian levies and leave to find new livelihoods. What is it that you seek in the Dominion, Your Grace?
Oh, Dion Lesage.
You mean the Crown Prince of Sanbreque?
He has many titles. Dion the Bold, Prince of Dragoons, Odin's Nemesis, or simply Bahamut. I met him once when we were children. He was a chivalrous soul even then, and has served his empire indefatigably ever since.
And you are confident that he will listen to what you have to say?
Our world lurches ever closer to the abyss, and a hidden hand ushers us onward. Ultima's influence extends to every nation, Sanbreque included. If His Highness is the man I believe him to be, and I pray that he is, this truth will not have escaped his notice. As the mother crystals fall, the eternal flame wavers, and the azure sky begins to bruise. How lucky we were to be blessed by the crystals, and yet how spoiled. Like canaries in a gilded cage, growing fat on seed. But now, the bars are closing in, and we must take flight. Painful though it be to leave our home behind, it is what we must do to be free. Which is it that men cannot live without? A blessing that leads to damnation, or a freedom that leads to deprivation? I do not yet know the answer to that question. Do you, Clive?
Your Grace, let us find a place to rest a while. We can return by the Dhalmekian trail once you have recovered your strength. I realize your duty is pressing, but if your health should fail...
I know. Thank you, Yoto.
Big old purple glowy thing in his chest. Meanwhile. Randella.
The army's attempt to breach the Empire's defenses and gain the Isles of Ark has failed yet again.
Only because your fleet has proved as impotent as a eunuch on laying night. Would you rather we simply fell back to the capital?
Enough, both of you. All here agree that the Empire cannot be allowed to maintain its illegitimate claim on the Dominion. However, our casualties mount with each passing day.
There is a literal sea twixt you and your prize. The armies of Sambrek need but sit back and watch as you harmlessly lap against their walls. They are dug in like ticks and seek to draw out this siege, knowing the capital's stores are nigh bottomless. And what of our wise rulers? Goaded into war without any thought as to what chaos it might reap. Republican soldiers starve while waiting for orders from Randalar.
If you would but take the field, their bellies would be full by nightfall.
If I take the field, so too will Bahamut, and our duel will shake the island to its foundations. Instead of liberating the Dominion, you would doom it to destruction. Unless that is what you desire.
If our learned advisor has a solution to propose, we should be glad to consider it.
Is that the Emperor's?
What is the meaning of this, Lord Kupka?
What it means is that I am disinclined to advise you any longer.
Okay.
Ah, the looks on their faces when you walked through those doors. A perfect picture of stupefaction. They could not believe their eyes. Though I confess, I had my own doubts whether or not you would accept my invitation. Such shocking news. Sid isn't a son of a whore. He's the son of an empress. Your own dear Clive.
Absurd. Who fed you these lies? I have never spent a moment among criminals, save at the gallows. I came here with my son, not to entertain your baseless accusations, but to put an end to the senseless hostilities between our nations.
Very well. You need only agree to the terms I set out. Sid took the life of someone dear to me, a woman by the name of Benedicta. I swore to take his in turn. This would not be disagreeable to you, I take it. You would finally be rid of the stain on your noble name. In return, I will leave Sanbreque in your capable hands. Your Imperial Majesty.
And all for the love of a common whore. Dominant or no, one cannot hide one's breeding. And beasts will ever belong with beasts. There are greater things in store for you, my darling Olivier. Soon enough, you shall be the crown prince of Sambrec. And when your father goes to meet Great Griga, you shall be emperor of all you survey. The old order shall come tumbling down, and you will rebuild the world in your glorious image. Soon.
Influenced by Ultima, maybe?
She's been in there for hours. Something must be wrong.
In where? After the storm. Oh, more letters. 3 more letters. An apple a day. Out from the yard ran up a basket of martels just this morning. Okay. Flame none brighter. From Wade. I ask once again for you to give my men for your welcome. Short time since our reunion, you have shown yourself to be the self-same man I followed into Stillwind those many years ago. To you and your cause, I hereby pledge the swords of the Guardians, and am proud to stand beside you once more. All quiet in the Dominion. Dalmix and the Imperials are at a standoff. They snarl at each other, fangs bared like slum curs. Neither wants to make the first move. It's almost as if they both realize what a stinking pile of chocobo shit they've stepped in. The oath. Oh, martel apples. Somewhat stunted, somewhat sweet apple, grown from the blighted earth thanks to the dedication and perseverance of one woman, Martel. Though she was to lose her life from the wound she sustained in Kupka's attack on the hideaway, her legacy lives on. Hello, what do you have?
Back, are ya? What do you want?
Platinum sword.
No scratches, right?
Yes, please. And a platinum belt.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
And platinum cannons, not worth it. Ooh, what's this? I still need a gelatinous mass.
And?
What do you want?
Sid, I know that when we came to the hideaway, we chose to let go of our past in order that we might focus on our future.
We did?
Nonetheless, I was wondering if... Well, I know you are from Rosaria, and I'm in need of someone with intimate knowledge of those lands. Apparently, the duchy is home to all manner of curative herbs found nowhere else in the realm. Among them is a flower called a morganbeard that increases the potency of lesser medicines.
I can't say that I've had much practice healing. My youth was spent in the Bailey.
A shame. You see, the hideaway relies heavily upon medicines procured from afar. And when those shipments are late, well, it's our sick who suffer. If we could find this flower and learn to grow it here, we might save many lives. However, as you are well aware, Imperial occupation has rendered the roads unsafe for those like me, untrained in the military arts. Now, I'm not asking the busiest man in the hideaway to drop everything and make the journey for me, but if you happen to be in the duchy on other business...
Tell me of these Morganbeards, then.
But of course.
Gotta run the errands.
If my old tomes are to be believed, the flowers are bright yellow and as large as goblins' eyes. Oh, and they grow in the marshes of Sorrowise. If I am to propagate them here in the backyard, I will require several samples, preferably of blooms which have already gone to seed. And before I forget, I do seem to recall learning in the course of my research that their odor has the tendency to attract unsavory creatures. Nothing you cannot handle, though, I'm sure.
Okay.
Let us know if you find any rotten planks.
Over here. Oh, there's more hunts.
I'll see about replacing them.
If you need help, just ask Nan. She's got a load of new stock in.
Is it business or pleasure?
You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here.
Is that all?
Sure. That is all for now.
Hunting down bearers, stringing them up.
Oh, bother. Whatever am I to do now, Clive?
About what?
I've 2 dresses that need stitching, but I haven't got a scrap of linen. Those girls' rags are so threadbare. It's a wonder they don't fall to pieces. And we most certainly cannot have that. A certain amount of decorum must be maintained, even here at the hideaway. You wouldn't want the poor things going without decent clothes now, would you?
Of course not. What can I do to help?
Oh, aren't you a dear? You see, I've paid for 2 bolts of cloth from the drapers in Northreach, blue and red. But they don't deliver, not to places that aren't on the map anyway, so I'll need...
Someone to run an errand.
...to take this receipt and collect them.
And you'd have this someone be me?
I would. And don't let them fob you off with anything less than what I paid for. 1 bolt of blue and 1 of red. I expect them both. They said they'd give us new clothes.
Ah, my favorite pupil. How may I help you today? One must understand one's place in the world.
Okay, so they've retreated back to Ironhome. The loss of the crystal and of the patriarch, chief of the priests, plunged the kingdom into chaos, leaving the monarchy wanting for a leader beyond its politically impotent royalty. Dun, dun, dun.
Very Very good.
Our man in Dalamo mentioned that Cook has got.
Let's take a look at the board. Secret. While Minotaurs have long dwelled in the mountainous regions of Rosaria, it is only recently that they have come down from the highlands to hunt in the swamps surrounding Martha's Rest. Among their numbers is one whose sheer size suggests it to be a chieftain, who appears to be spearheading the push south. He must be stopped, lest the beastmen develop designs on the rest proper. Cool. Is he a bee? Severian. A particularly belligerent breed of echo has recently awakened amid the fallen ruins near Martha's Rest. It is known to activate on the approach of any human, armed or unarmed. Oh, excuse me. Sets about them with a burning jet that has already reduced much of the surrounding marshlands to ash. This is one echo that the Cursebreakers would fain see forever silenced. Okay. Do we have any new... We do not.
I've done what I can, but the rest is up to you. You need to start taking better care of yourself.
Understood. And thank you.
The curse has spread. Make sure she rests.
If it hurts, you can tell me, I'll understand.
I can bear it.
But you shouldn't have to. Not anymore.
This isn't just your struggle, Clive. It's ours. And when we see how hard you fight, it inspires us to do the same. Or would you rather we left you to save the world all on your own?
No. That's not... Ignore me.
Smooth, Clive.
Clive, where are you? In here.
God damn it, Gav.
What's wrong?
Gav the cock blocker.
Rosaria's under attack.
What?
Surprise, surprise.
This isn't the Dalmekian army we're talking about. It's the men of the Rock from Drake's Fang. Hugo Kupka's private guard. There he is in hell in Rosalith, trying to batter down the castle gates.
Looking for me.
Seems that way. Reckon old Hugo has finally worked out who Sid really is.
Then this is just another trap.
Ah, it's a trap, all right. The daddy of all fucking traps.
I'm going to Rosalith.
You're not serious. That's exactly what he wants you to do, Clive.
Look, I don't know why Kupka harbors such a grudge against Sid. But as long as it's left to fester, our world will never know peace. He has dragged the rest of Storm into this pointless war just to find me. Besides which, I am not about to stand and watch while my home gets ground into the dirt. Hugo Kupka must die.
I've lost enough friends to that man already. I don't want to lose any more. So let's go and kill the bastard.
I'm coming too. After all, We're in this together.
All right. I should probably speak to Otto before leaving. We need to know what we're getting ourselves into.
First he wrecked our home, now he's wrecking yours. But he's not going to get away with it this time.
Back to Rosalith then. Whatever has become of her.
Yes, but side quests. Okay. Get some cloth. Exciting.
Welcome.
Not you.
Pilger's nice and chilled.
Look at this place. We spent half a day there.
Let's hope the Draper has Hortense's cloth.
Might I interest you in some swansdown? Perhaps some seersucker or herringbone?
Just some linen. 2 bolts. Already paid for in full.
Apologies, my lord, but your items aren't here. They were due to arrive on a caravan from Bucklad, but there's been little traffic on the road these past few days. My mother thinks it might be bandits, but she always thinks it's bandits.
It usually is. So I assume the caravan will be coming from the south.
Yes, hopefully carrying all manner of spice and sundries. Wait, you aren't thinking of...
Going to find it. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh, well then, be safe.
All right. Oh, fucking raptors. Here's the caravan.
That damn bird's a menace.
She meant nothing by it, I swear.
Who's gonna buy my wares now? State your animals left them in.
But they hardly damaged us all.
Is there something wrong?
If you're a bandit come to steal my stuff, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. And all thanks to this fool.
But it was you who stepped into my path.
Only after that featherbrain trampled me. I demand recompense, be it in coin or the items you carry. Refuse, and I shall report you to the garrison and see you hanged.
These goods are expected in Northreach. I mean, they're not mine to give away.
You wouldn't happen to be on your way from Bucklad, would you?
I am, but did someone from the market send you? Please, you have to help me. I can pay whatever you ask.
So the fool has protection. And coin, too. Sorry, friend, but we'll be the ones taking it. Oi! Killer! It's time to collect!
I told you not to call me that. And we'd have already collected if you hadn't insisted we'd put on this little act.
Bandits!
As I told one of your customers, it usually is. Let's get this over with.
I'll deal with the bird lover. You take the handsome one, killer.
Stop calling me that.
Here we go.
All right. You made your point. Killer my ass.
Did he hurt you?
No, thankfully. He seemed intent on letting the bandit do his dirty work for him, and he would have succeeded had the Great Lender not sent you. My shipment is safe, and my livelihood with it. You must allow me to reward you.
We can speak of that once you're safe in Northreach. I'll accompany you there.
So you and my mother were right. It is always bandits.
And were it not for the kindness of our free sword here, you'd be buying your order back from them at twice the price. Now, if you don't mind, I have a pressing appointment at the Vale before my return to Boklad. Farewell.
Press engagement at the Vale, eh?
Oh, I almost forgot. I suppose you'll be wanting your linen. You'll be happy to know both bolts arrived safely along with the rest of the delivery. I've also added a few extra lengths of our finest fabrics to the bundle. Free of charge.
Thank you.
My mother would insist. It's the least we can do for the man who saved our shipment.
How's that done then? Now it's back to Hortense with her cloth.
But not before going over here.
Stay sharp.
Jesus. Quite far away.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other.
It'll take ages to tidy all this stuff.
Aye, Sid. Let's go. Faster!
Excuse me.
Straight home now.
Oh.
Good girl.
All right.
Run like the wind.
Run like the wind, bullseye. In a minute. This way.
The marshes near the Abbey are certainly damp. Let's see if they're damp enough for Morganbeards.
Some goblins chilling.
Size of a goblin's eye. Not this goblin. Certainly wasn't wrong about them being attracted to the flowers, though.
Oh, some boxes. Oh, hello. Thank you very much. Come on down. Jesus. Jesus.
Nice try.
Oh, I see. That's what this is.
Bright yellow. These are our Morganbeards, all right. Well, I've gone to this much trouble. Might as well gather as many as I can. There's something familiar about this scent. It reminds me of home. Hopefully this will be enough. I've had my fill of goblins.
Nice. the flowers got. All the questicles done. Here's your bloody cloth.
Clive, sorry again for sending you all that way. But you did get my order, didn't you?
Don't worry. I have it. I believe this will more than satisfy your needs.
Let's see here. One bolt of red, one bolt of blue. What's this? I don't recall ordering any silk or velvet or... Is this gold work? Krieger's ghost. If that devilet of a draper expects me to pay for these...
You needn't worry on that score, Hortense. They were a gift. For services rendered. I can always return them if you like.
Oh, no. Oh, there's no need to be hasty now, Clive. I'm sure I can put all three to good use. Speaking of which one's most to your liking?
I don't know.
White continental silk?
I suppose.
I've a mind to give a piece to Jill. Did you know she's quite the little seamstress?
I know needlecraft was amongst her lessons at the castle.
Her lessons? Oh, that's right. The two of you were raised together in Rosalith, weren't you?
Not quite together, but... When my father put down the uprising in the Northern Territories, Jill was taken as a ward to ensure that her father, the Silvermane, would keep the peace.
She's an honest-to-goodness princess then, isn't she? I could tell, you know. Some people just have that air about them. Not many round here, mind. I'd offered to sew her something that might better suit her station. But she'd most likely turn me down, as she always does. Tell me not to waste the fabric when it's better used on the children.
Don't take it the wrong way. She certainly seems to be attached to the last outfit you made her.
Oh, sometimes I think she never takes it off.
Or perhaps she'll make something for herself with your gift. Either way, I'm sure she won't turn it down.
We'll see, I suppose.
Quest complete.
Lady Hortense said she'd give us our dresses soon.
It is rare that we see you so often in the backyard, Cid. What brings you to the gardens?
What do you mean? You sent me on a quest.
I found your flowers.
Yes, wonderful. These are almost identical to the plates in my tome. Did you have any trouble locating them?
Finding them was the easy part, but it's odd. They remind me of my childhood somehow. I don't remember these flowers specifically, but we must have grown them in the castle garden. If the petals are meant to improve the effectiveness of medicines, it's possible that the court physicers grew them for the tinctures and treatments they made my brother.
If the ducal healers were convinced of their properties, that is all the more reason to begin growing our own supply here. Oh, allow me to use some of the flowers you brought me to make something that might aid you on your travels. I need only a moment to extract the essence from the petals. And here we are. A phial of pure Morganbeard extract.
Thank you.
A single drop added to any one of your restoratives will increase its potency. At least I hope it will.
Quest complete. It's a curiosity. Increasing consumable potency. Ooh. Nice, nice. Maybe this quest was worth it. You have obtained a vial of Morganbeard extract, hereby increasing the potency of most consumables, potions, high potions. Now restore more HP, while strength, stone skin, and Lionheart tonics last longer. Awesome. Now.
Let us know if you find any rotten.
Hello? Off limits. Alright.
Be ready to leave for Rosalith at a moment's notice.
Gov gave you the news then?
We're leaving for Rosalith, but not before I know exactly what's going on. What have we heard?
All sorts. Nobody was expecting the Dalmacs to open up a new front against the Empire, least of all our friends in the provinces. Reports have been rolling in from all over the place, with no two saying the same thing. I've been passing them on to Vivian, in the hope she can make sense of them. If you're set on going, you'll want to talk to her.
Understood.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite pupil. Let's see now, where did we leave? Well, this is a surprise. My lectures are rarely so well attended.
You know what they say? A little knowledge, can't hurt?
We're going to Rosalith to deal with Kupka. What's the situation there?
Whoa there, Lord Rossfield. I'm sure you're champing at the bit to return to your roost. But to fully understand the present situation, one must first understand how it came to be.
Story time?
Let us begin with the story of Hugo Kupka, or the permanent economic advisor to the Dalmekian government, to give him his formal title. In a republic founded on commerce, there could hardly be a more influential position. It has granted him both extraordinary wealth and extraordinary power. Not that he ever wanted for the latter. Being Titan's dominant, he is also Dalmekia's last line of defense, a fact he has used to his considerable advantage. Why, he was even able to pry Drake's Fang, one of the pillars of the Republic, from Parliament's grip. And he was quick to buy the loyalty of the Fang's protectors. Today they are his faithful creatures, a private army in all but name. The self-same army that marches upon Rosarian soil as we speak. By which I mean Imperial soil, not that you need reminding of the fact. Suffice it to say, the Empire's attentions are elsewhere at present, deadlocked as it is with Dalmekia over its occupation of the Crystalline Dominion, where its legions are now gathered. Scarcely a handful of garrisons remain to secure its western provinces, and half of them left after the fall of Drake's Breath. With the threat of the Ironblood thus diminished, they had little cause to fear a maritime invasion. And so today, only a token force guards the former duchy's shores, as Kupka was quick to descry. He landed his troops on the Rosarian coast without encountering so much as a single ship. All for you, Clive. He wants your head.
And so he and his men advance upon Rosalith, not to capture the province, but to draw you out. You said Kupka's forces sailed up the coast. What of Port Isolde then? Is the city safe? Quite, according to the Guardians of the Flame. The Dalmekian fleet floated by without incident, but not without remark. When they learned Kupka's forces were making for Rosalith, our friends were quick to begin arranging the exodus of her citizens. And so the stage will soon be set for your heroic homecoming. Alas, it will be a more trying task to enter the capital than it was to leave it. Hugo's men hold Buet Bridge, despite the Imperials' repeated attempts to wrest it back from their grasp. And they were careful not to repeat the Empire's mistake in neglecting their coastal defenses. The seas around Rosalith are firmly under Dalmekian control. So tell me, pupil mine, what do you believe to be the best route to Rosalith?
The north.
The north.
We cross the northern border near Phoenix Gate, then take the road through Stillwind down to the capital. Hardly the quickest route, but at least we won't be spotted.
A little local knowledge goes a long way, and so must you.
We'd best get a move on then.
Oh, will you be going too?
Aye. I've been waiting a long time to give that fucker a taste of his own medicine. I would have missed this for the world.
All right. We should be on our way.
Lead on.
Martha's Rest. I think there are some hunts around here. Green sheaves. Okay. Maybe it's down this way.
Thank you for sticking with us.
You know what? It'll be just easier to double check at the hideout, as I've forgotten where the hunts are exactly.
You give that rotten sod exactly what he deserves.
Right. Where were you? Martha's Rest. Fallen Ruins. North of Sorrowwise. West of Rhiannon's Ride. Rosaria. Rhiannon's Ride. The Men of the Rock. Private army under the command of Hugo Kupka, permanent economic advisor to the Dalmekian Parliament and dominant of Titan. Has little love for his country, taking advantage of his position to benefit himself and himself alone. After learning that Sid the Outlaw, the man who slew the love of his life, Benedicta Harlan, still lives, tasks the personal guard with capturing and torturing bearers in order to draw out his nemesis and take his revenge. Rosalith, former capital of Duchy of Rosaria. The Hideaway, established under the leadership of Clive Rosfield, took on the title of Cid. Yada yada yada. Slightly unlike his predecessor, however, it is located in the center of a lake, across whose waters any invading enemy can easily be spotted. Peaceful, dim, lake, free reads, cliff, what he sold. Okay. Sorrow wise. Was it Rhiannon's Ride as well? I think so. Crooked Nash's Ping. Yada yada yada. Word is sold. Let's check here.
Stay sharp.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other.
It'll take ages to tidy all this stuff up.
All right, Sid.
Come on.
Come on.
Be safe.
Hello. Severian. Severian? Oh, Jesus. Ah! Oh, for fuck's sake, man. What the fuck? Better. Not better. Oh, motherfucker. What have I got?
There's a good boy. Nice try.
That's what I want. Jesus. Oh, cool. Oh, Quacker. Oh, wrong button. Fuck a duck.
It's over.
Ooh, brutal. Whew. Oh, Electrum. I need that. There's something I can build with it.
To ruins it came, and to ruin it returns.
Jesus Christ. Got a bit battered and bruised there. Okay, let's stock up. Stock up on some stuff. And check out the blacksmith. So there was definitely something that needed electrum.
Take care, Clive. You go cookers.
Well, don't just stand there gawping. If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that.
Back, are ya?
Yes.
Same for you, dear.
What was it? Ah, it's this, yes. Nice. Drake Slayer's belt.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
Very nice, very nice. So, if that was there,
One day, I want to sail all the way.
where was the other hunt again?
We must be
Ooh, we've Also got some gifts. Ew, where were you? West of Rhiannon's Ride. Rhiannon's Ride. Okay.
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Swelling chorus. It used to be I would step into a tavern only to find myself overwhelmed with requests to sing.
Here you are.
Ah, I thought I got this one. A prayer for safe travels. They say it is your men who keep the roads free of beasts and bandits. As one whose livelihood is reliant on safe passage from market to market, my chocobos and I thank you. Cleric's medallion.
All yours. All done?
Aye. Healing potency of potions. A badge of metal. Attack by 12. Abilities, I've got 1800 now, which is a decent chunk of change. I'll drive. Rook's Gambit. Limit. What are the wicks? Which I haven't used. I'll drive. Blind Justice. Details. Striking enemy. Mastery. Increased number of lock-ons. Thunderstorm. Lightning Rod. Judgment Bomb. Real Blast. Cool. Mastery allows assignment to any icon. Scarlet Cyclone, Rising Flames, Phoenix Shift. 807? My deadly embrace, yes. Okay. Coolio. That's you. Offers rest. Central Rosaria. Okay, so it's got to be somewhere around here.
Naught but wild beasts this end. All their twisted talons and gruesome maws.
Mm-hmm.
Good girl.
Faster!
Now this guy looks a bit scary. Secret.
Can't let that thing bite free so close to me. Time to take the bull by the horns.
Ow. Oh, I just went straight into that one. Charge. Stop it. Oh. Oh boy.
Nice try.
Come on down. Ba, 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 ba. Cool. Level 30. Nice. Minotaur main crafting.
Well, the locals will sleep easier without him at their gate.
Indeed. Alright, hunts hunted.
Take care, Clive. Hugo.
And what can I do for you? Go on then. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Finished, are you?
And off we go.
Fortify the castle gates at once.
Hugo and his men have been busy. They've already breached the castle's outer wall. The Imperials are holding the ground for now, but it's only a matter of time before the keep falls. Those fuckers really went to town on this place. Almost like they want to wipe it off the map.
Just a means to an end.
Toy chocobo.
All this for one man? They didn't have to go so far.
If you keep your wits about you, I reckon you can make it up to the castle without raising the alarm. I'll sniff out any townsfolk who haven't escaped yet and send them on their way.
Be careful.
Likewise. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
I thought I was ready for this, but...
I know. It's like a nightmare. This was our home. Come on, Clive. We have to keep going.
Or we're all just chilling out. Capital punishment.
This isn't an invasion. It's a massacre.
He'll stop at nothing, Clive. Nothing.
Why do this?
Clive, we can get through here.
Some opponents will cast protect spells to raise defensive barrier around their allies. Avoid using your sword and instead employ magic.
It's murderous! And there's only one fitting punishment.
Nice. All cleaned up. Where am I going? Oh, there's a ladder.
I yield!
Look what we have here.
Gentlemen!
You won't escape!
Hell yeah.
Cut them down! With me, then! For the Emperor! Out of our way!
Oh, you've got protect on you. That's enough of you. Oh, I'm over here.
Back him!
Oh, damn you. Oh. Did not see that guy there. Pretty sure I dodged that. And again? This is probably what I want. Chest. 100 gil. Nice. Ocean. Nope. The gate.
It's the out! Get out of my city, or die!
Up we go.
We're nearly at the castle. It ends there.
Shit has hit the fan here.
He's here. Remember, take him alive.
Stay down.
Brutal. I like it. Oh, fuck. Get off! Get off of it! Huh.
Set her loose.
They have a curl.
Oh, shit.
Attack!
Ready?
What do you think?
Gotcha. Very nice.
It's building up to something.
We need to stop it. Whatever it takes. It's down.
Whew.
Then let's make this count.
Stop attacking that. Okay. Alright. Not too bad. Oh, curl whisker.
Jill!
We meet at
How
last,
did you come from?
Sid. Or should I say Lord Rosfield? I've been looking for you for a very long time.
Let her go, Kuka.
I'm so glad you accepted my invitation. I went to some trouble with the decorations. Do you like what I've done with the place?
Bastard.
Such a pity your predecessor couldn't join us. But I am sure you will prove compelling company. Be still, little snowflake. I would not have you melt before your starring moment.
Fuck.
Now, on to the festivities.
Be up to Torgal to save the day.
That's just great, that is. I suppose it's up to me then.
Torgal and Gav to the rescue.
Headsman!
Where do you want me?
You! Bring the prisoner!
Yes, no more than she deserves for getting into bed with an outlaw.
We should get into mine.
Lord Kupka commands your presence. You're to bear witness to the girl's execution.
Such a waste.
Hey, Gav.
Gav.
Took your time.
Shh.
Crystal fetters are a bastard to open, just so you know. Don't worry, I'll have them off before you can blink.
Where's Jill?
In the courtyard.
Shit. We have to hurry.
The Imperials have sounded the retreat and cleared out of the castle, but the place is still swarming with Kupka's men.
Leave them to me.
I'll make my way up top and circle round the back. Quick as you like, eh? Nearly forgot.
Hold on, Jill. I'm coming.
Right.